Yeah. All right. Now, you should all be familiar with this name by now. Soriah Moon, who's played for South Adelaide. She's a premiership player. She's the SA State League Ruck of the Year, really, because she's represented SA as the State Ruck earlier this year yet again. Soriah Moon, please welcome back. Welcome back. What's going on?
Thanks for having me again, Cooper.
No worries. Now, how's last time we spoke, I believe it was either the week of the grand final or the week before the grand final. And wow, you went through a grand final last year, Mooney, and got the W. 5-point victory in the granny. How was that?
Yeah, look, it was a really tough game. Like the build-up was really exciting, of course, because we just lost the grand final the year before. So it was pretty exciting. Like we were all just like pumped to go. Yeah, so it was pretty exciting. It's kind of funny because you win and then you're just like, you get your medal and then you're just like, oh, now what do you do? So we all just sort of went straight back into pre-season or off-season training. And yeah, it was good. It was really nice. There's still a bus going around Adelaide just with our premiership photo going around.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, sometimes you drive past and you're like, oh, nice.
Sure. Now I remember a little bit of it, not fully now since it's been about a year ago, but I did say to Tiffany King, for people that know who I'm talking about, I said that saying it's Tiffy time. If you were to win, something like that would happen. I believe something may have happened about some type of song or something like that, but I kind of got it out there at least at that point.
Yeah, we look, to be honest, we won and then we went back to the club rooms, of course, to celebrate. But then like we were meant to play Tiffy, it's Tiffy time. I think that's what it was.
Yes, that's correct.
And then we like basically we were all pretty stuffed. I actually left early because I'm old and I just wanted to go to bed. But everyone got pretty sloshed after that.
Fair to say that. That's fair enough. Now, obviously, back in that grand final, obviously it was a close game, 5-point victory to your own side. And in that grand final, obviously you being a ruck, you had 30 hitouts with 10 disposals. How do you feel you were in that game? And do you handle pressure pretty well, Mooney? Obviously, is it different to another game feeling? Do you feel the same for every game, or is it chop and change depending on the game situation?
It's hard. That game was really tough. Like it was just different. I don't know why. Like I think because previously like Nord had beat us and they'd beat us pretty convincingly, that there was always in the back of your mind that although we sort of got straight through and we were we were kind of like the what's it called? Oh, the favourites to win. Like in the back of your mind, you're literally thinking about the time where you lost to them like a few weeks earlier. So it was really tough, and it's tough because the coaches are all stressed, and basically they're just like pulling you. Like I think even for a little bit, like I was meant to play ruck, and then they were like play in the back line, and then it was like pulling all over. But then because I don't know if you know the rule that we have. Where when it's a bowl up, you have to run back behind the line, like that type of stuff. Anti-density rule, like it was just crazy. Like there was just so much going on, and it was really tough because you're trying your best, but you're also like stressed out, and yeah, it was really tough. I'd probably say like you go in pumped, but you don't know what you're going to expect, and you're basically just trying your best and getting yelled at by everyone. And but it was still like I think going from that game to this, or like the final on the weekend, you really just have to like play your game and sort of be confident in your game. Like I think that's probably the key is just like try not to listen to all the noise about like finals fever and all that stuff, and when you're out there you just have to be confident in your skills. And I think that's something I learned from the last grand final is like just be confident in your skills and don't stress sort of around that. So I do feel confident because this season I've had like a pretty good season, so I do feel a bit confident about like my skills. And I think having like 2 grand finals in my belt or coming into the next game, which is, I don't know, is it preliminary final?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yes, against like it's pretty exciting. Like you just
Mm,
you just want to play and you're just excited. So yeah.
for sure. Now, I'll give one more from last year, from that grand final. Now, in that exact moment, Mooney, that you said won, the siren had gone, you just knew it was over, considering that it was 5 points, so it could have gone either way in the last few minutes. Did you just, how was that feeling the moment that siren went, and that relief of knowing that the heartbreak from the year before, knowing that, no, this time we have won it?
Oh yeah, it's pretty rewarding because you've obviously
Mm,
just had the season go before where you worked so hard and got there. And then you've had a
mm,
whole other season where you've worked so hard and you've got there. So it is like it's the best feeling when that siren goes, especially because it was like there was so much pressure. Like the ball was just like it just moves so quickly. And Norwood's a pretty
mm,
small oval, so it moves very
yeah.
fast from like back line to forward line. So
Yeah.
as soon as the siren went, I think all of the girls like were just on the ground like, oh my gosh, thank goodness that's over. But it was
Mm,
amazing just to like you finally just like, oh, it's done. Like, it's just done and dusted. You've done
yeah.
everything. And I think like I'm pretty sure in the first quarter I got like I falconed, like I had like a
No, oh
blood
God.
nose and like
Yeah.
with because I think it was showcased on Channel 7 and you just see like
Mm.
the camera panning and I'm just like holding
Oh,
my
yeah.
nose and then I like had to come off and get my knees strapped, and you just see the camera panning, and I'm just like, man, just all those little moments where like you just remember like those funny things, and you're like, oh, it was good. It was really
Mm,
good. Like great
mm.
feeling just to have that over and done with.
For sure, in a good way as well. And then, do you recall the first person you got to, what you actually did? Did you just soak it in? Did you get jumped on? Did you get another blood nose? What happened in
Yeah.
those that exact moment from the siren going to the first person you made contact with?
Yeah, so the ball was over in our forward 50 and I was
Mm.
still ruck, but I was playing like the behind person.
Oh yeah.
And I think I just like ran to the all of the defenders and we were all just like
Mm,
hugging. But you see the
mm,
camera pans to where the ball was, and all those girls
mm,
were jumping on top of each other, but me and like we basically just walked over to each other, gave each other a hug, and yeah, I reckon it was
mm.
just like the backliners, we
Yeah.
were all just back there, just like, thank goodness that's over. Because it was like a
Mm,
very much like the ball went sort of straight, like it just kept rebounding back into their forward 50, and
mm.
we were stuffed.
That's fair. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, and you reap the rewards at the end of that. Now, obviously,
Mm.
now you've in final series, South Adelaide as a whole, they've in the women's program, they've had in the league side, they've had some heartbreaks. You mentioned in 23, the ultimate success, and then so far in the first final, the heartbreak on the weekend with Woodville. Obviously, that late goal from Claudia O'Neill. It's just that feeling sucks. So you've had the best of both worlds. How did you try and recap that game? Also, you didn't play on the weekend, so how did you assess that game, and what can you, as a team, try and take into this week against Sturt?
Yeah, yeah. So, to be honest, we played really well for
Mm-hmm.
most of the game. We played like very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
What I've found with like Woodville is they're so efficient in their forward line. As soon as it goes in, you just know most likely there's going to be a score. And yeah,
Mm.
Claudia O'Neill is the reason for that. Plus their other tolls that they have there.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think we came in with a plan, and
Mm-hmm.
then I couldn't play on the weekend. So then the plan kind
Mm-hmm.
of, you know, it fell onto
Altered.
some people's
Yeah.
shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just like in the last, few minutes, that's when we're normally probably fatigued. And we just don't make like the right decision. So I think
Mm.
like probably coming into the next round, it's basically like just keep playing until the final siren. Like
Mm.
you have to just keep pushing and just remembering like the game plan. I think that's
Yeah.
probably our like what I picked up. I mean, again, like I said, like it was such a good game,
Mm.
and Claudia is such a good player.
Yeah.
Like I don't think even I could have stopped her from, because she's quite she's so solid, and we struggle with that big solid, and her mark is just amazing. So don't know what we're gonna do, but yeah, it's sort of like that's sort of the I think the thing coming into the next game is just keep to the plan, but also like know that when you're fatigued, you just even more have to keep that focus. And a lot of the young girls in our team, they like to say lock in. So we just got to lock in for that full, I don't even know how long the game is, but 2 hours, or hour. I don't even know how long is our games. Anyway, however long our games
20
are.
minutes, about 80 minutes if you don't want to include the breaks, I guess. An
Yeah.
hour 20.
Yeah. So for that
Around that.
whole time, you just have to like keep locked in. I reckon that's our key.
For sure. And obviously, it obviously could be a coincidence that, well, it would be a coincidence, it would be true, because unfortunately, what happens last week could turn into a rematch. But now, we obviously don't want to get too far ahead, but pretty simple. You win this week, you're going back to play the side that had the heartbreak the week prior to that. And could be interesting. And obviously, South Adelaide's always a strong club as well. That, as you mentioned, that's always in the thick of things. And Woodville, I feel like, as you said, have been a pretty good side this year as well. And brings up the Sturt this week, which will make it on Sunday. Hopefully a close contest, and hopefully fully fit. Everyone's back out there.
Yeah. Look, hopefully, Woodville have had like an exceptional season this year. I don't think we've ever seen a side that have scored so convincingly. And like I said, I think it's definitely their efficiency in the forward line that's winning them games. Plus, they've got a pretty solid back line as well. Like basically, they're just solid throughout each line, which is, it's hard to. They're very hard side. So they're very exciting. Sturt have been
Yeah.
amazing these last few weeks because they beat Woodville, then they've beat North twice. So they're a pretty solid side too. I'm pretty excited. We're hoping everyone's fit to play, hopefully. And we'll just have to, again, the same thing, just go hard, follow the game plan and keep locked in. That's the keys, I think.
For sure. Now, it's an interesting fact, and it's happened a few times. Well, it's happened a lot of times, in fact, in the all-state leagues, VFLW, AFLW, VFLW, WAFLW, or SANFLW in your case. Players get picked up as injury replacement players to go to AFLW clubs, which is great for the individuals. But obviously, seen in some competitions, do you feel like sometimes some players leaving mid-season, just in general, even though if you haven't had any this year, but like just see the general effect to Mooney of the clubs, like how much of an impact could it be? Because I know, for example, Woodville lost Christina Louisi to Adelaide about a month ago, and sometimes it could hamper the side, and it could just make not much of a difference. If you're in those positions, how would you feel as a whole? Do you like, obviously, for the individuals to get recruited, which is great, no matter who it is, but is it a bit disappointing to see some key parts of your side, clearly if they're getting picked up by AFLW because they've obviously been good, right? To lose a key part in your side, whether you're involved or not, just seeing it from the outside. Sometimes it feels like it's a bit harsh because, just losing someone and you aren't really changing, and you just have to stick with what you got.
Yeah, that is a good point. I think definitely in Woodville's case, they've lost two pretty solid players. They've lost Poppy Waterford to her ACL, and then they've also lost Christina as well.
Yeah.
They are obviously top quality players. And for Woodville, you can see like that they're still winning games like pretty convincingly. Like they're still pretty solid. So I think for them, like, they've probably taken it like, yeah, it's a big loss, but we've still got the depth to continue like their campaign. So that's one where I'm like, look, they've lost Christina, which is huge, but I think like it's probably kept them like sometimes when someone gets picked up you get even more like hyped and you're pretty excited for them and then like you've just the next person steps up kind of thing. So that's that case with Woodville. I think in regards to like Layla Ebert going to
Yes.
Melbourne,
Correct.
like that's
Another
another
one.
case where she was huge for North, and to be honest, she probably was one of those players that really pushed the ball up really quick, and that's how North players. They were so fast moving the ball. That's probably one where you can probably see it has affected their team just a little bit. So it is like I can see what you're saying for sure. Like it's definitely there is a. I don't know. Because we haven't had anyone picked up mid-season, so I couldn't tell you like from a personal point of view, but from the outside point of view on those two teams, like you can sort of see those. Like it's quite hard. Like of course, if you lose a key player, but if you've got depth in your team, it's you've just got that. You just have to have that next person steps up kind of thing. So yeah, tough one, isn't it? I don't know what. I don't know how it feels personally, but that's probably what I can see from other teams.
For sure. Now this year, Maroon, you may not pump yourself up, but I will. Averaging as a ruck, which just makes this more impressive at your age as well, or any age for that matter. And plus, by the way, you're not old. I know you were saying before you're old. 31 is not old because I'm 27, so therefore I don't want to hear 31's old. Football old maybe, but not old in general. We'll go for that.
No.
Okay? So you averaged 20 disposals this year, 7 clearances and 5 tackles for a ruck, which is pretty impressive. And every ruck game every game you've played in, every ruck hit out number has been over 20, and there's some in the 40s and 30s. You must be pretty impressed with your season. Obviously representing SA in the state side, which we'll get to shortly. But your South Adelaide season, you must be pretty proud of individually of how you've gone as well, and backed up last year.
Yeah, look, it's quite funny because I don't really know how my stats have gotten like that good. I don't even know what's happening this season. I just playing well, which is good, which is lovely. So it's quite nice, and like I guess when I started the season, I was like, I've got a few goals in mind, things that I want to try and work on. One of them was like, to try and aim to get state ruck again, and to play in the state team again. And it was quite like I didn't have a good start to the season. I had 2 sort of average games, but then to still be selected was, I guess it just builds up that confidence where you go, oh, like I'm the state, like I can play for the state, so I should be, a lot better. And then I think it just kind of clicked, and I don't know what's going on, how I'm doing well, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of nice.
That is good for sure. And just to pump up a few games now, I don't see rucks consistently get some of these numbers that you've gotten. So from disposals point of view, you've had games where you've had 22, 24, 25, 27, 27, and 29. That's just some. Like you said, you don't even know. What could you pin it down to? Like, is it just the midfielders are giving goals? Well, you're the one tapping it to them, and then are they giving it back to you? Like, what do you actually put it down to? Because, some rucks getting 20 don't even happen one game, let alone you've done at least, I think I just read out 7 or 8 games there.
Yeah, so I think last year, we had obviously, this is terrible. We had Nikki Neild, right? So Nikki Neild was obviously the best and fairest winner of this, like the SANFLW last year.
Yep.
And she's our major bowl winner last year. So and then obviously she's had to retire due to concussion. And then we've kind of just had like a whole new midfield come in, and they're all very young. Like we have Taya, who's 17, I think, and then we've got Emma Charlton, who's like also 16, 17, and we've got Layla Mizgardis, who's also 17. So we've got a whole like very, very young midfield group. I think it's just me and Caitlin Couch who are in our 30s, and I guess from there, like, they're exceptional players. They are amazing players. But I guess, I don't know, like, and then I guess the thing that's really changed as well is they've been like manned up completely in most games. So I think that just opens up for like the ruck to come through maybe and just pick up the ball and handball a couple more. So I don't think it's particularly anything that I've done. I think it's probably just that the change of the midfield group and then the change of the way the players play them just opens up my ability to like get the ball more. I reckon that's probably what it is. I wouldn't say I've done anything different, but I think that's probably just how it's happened. Yeah. It's kind of nice though.
Sure. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. It definitely looks good on paper for sure. Now, two of the names you just mentioned there, Taya Maxwell, as I'm assuming you're referring to, and Emma Charlton, obviously both eligible for the draft next year, not this year. Both in the state championship side at the moment. So I suppose you are getting affected in a way when they're playing in the state squad, or they're just in the squad in general, or an emergency, or in the team itself. Obviously, they're in and out, or they've got trainings, you might be in and out with that. It must be really nice to see both those girls do really well. Emma's had, I think yes, they might have played 2 games, if not two, it's definitely one, where they had over 20 disposals. And Taya's dominating the ruck forward area. I was pretty pleased to see they're both bottom majors this year, dominating in the state championships this year as bottom majors against the majority of them being over ages.
Yeah. So yeah, I think because Emma played a lot more in the forward line last year, and then she's just suddenly moved into the midfield. And obviously, she's probably, it's in her blood to be able to play footy and just read the ball really well. So she's just shone amazingly, and we're still initially, like, when you have like a new receiver, you try and build a connection with them so you can
Yeah.
just hit it to where you. And I think we've just started to get that, which is really nice. So yeah, it's really good to see her get those numbers. And she's an amazing player. She had 2 goals on the weekend as well.
Yes.
So she's just having such a good season, and you definitely hope. Well, you would expect that she'll get picked up next year. Taya is I just love her so much. Like, people think that, I think in some of the commentators, they're like, oh, she's got a good mentor in Soriah, but like, Taya will tell me what to do. Like, she's so smart
Yeah.
with just her ball use, and like,
Mhm.
she's just such a strong player. And oftentimes she'll tell me what to do, because like, I'm doing the right thing, but then she'll be like, no, you need to go here. And I'm like, oh, like, it's just something different. So they're both such smart players, and they've obviously got the skills to back it up as well. So I think next year is going to be very exciting for the draft, but I'm so happy I get to have another season with them as well. Like, it's going to be
Yes.
good. Yeah.
For sure. Now, there was a photo on the SANFL page a while back. I don't know if it was a month or two ago. I think it was when, or it might have been South Adelaide that even posted it. It was when they announced the under 18 states championship squad, and Taya was in one of the photos, and I don't know who she was standing next to, but it's been a ruck. They expect them to be tall, right? She's like at the off the page almost, and the other player was like near the bottom of the page. Not disrespect to the other player on the photo. I don't know who it was, but she just shone out of the photo. It's like, Jesus.
Yes.
She's taller
Yes.
than you?
Yeah, she's taller than me. Yeah, and she's only 16, but she's like a grown adult woman who's like, she's so solid. And I think last year I said, like, rucking at South is really hard because we have to ruck against like Brie Cleggett and things like that. But now, like, I'm getting beat by her every training. So yeah, like I said, she's pretty solid. She's really, and like, her pickup of the ball, she can kick like goals from 50 meters and things like that. I think she hit one this year. So she's solid. She's a very solid player.
Very, sure, got a very bright future. When you're the state, you're representing SA as a state ruck, and if you say that you're getting beaten at training by someone else, she's going to be pretty damn good if you're in the position you're in, and she's getting the rap that you just given her right now. Now, speaking of the SA state game, how cool was it to again represent SA? Be told that you're going to be in the team, and then be the ruck. How was that first initial feeling being told you'd be in the squad again, and then obviously be the starting ruck as well?
Yeah, so it was, again, like I said, I had a pretty poor start to the season this year, and like, I guess part of me was like, oh, like, am I gonna get picked up? And obviously you've got other rucks that you watch, like obviously Leah Cutting from Woodville. She's
Yes.
always like a fierce competitor when we play. So she also got selected as state ruck too. And she's the starting one. So she started and I subbed in for
Okay,
her.
gotcha. Rotation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was pretty exciting, and I was very excited to play with Leah Cutting because you want to play with the people you're versing as well. Like, you know, you want to learn from them, and I've learned like heaps from her, which is you know, she's just a solid, like she just runs and runs and runs, and you just kind of watch her patterns and you're like, she's pretty fit. So yeah, sorry, going on to that. So I didn't think I'd be selected, and then when I got the call, you know, obviously it was quite exciting because I was like, you know, that's something I, you know, was hoping for at the start of the season. Yeah, so it was pretty good. Like, you know, you don't really expect it at the age of 31, but when it sort of comes around, you're really grateful for it because you just don't know, like, you know, next year what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and it's always nice because we always have these like people coming to talk about their experience with the state games and things, and it just makes you feel so inspired, and you just feel so honoured to be able to play for the state. And yeah, it was we got to have 2 games this year, and one was on Adelaide Oval, which was really exciting, and like it was just before the Crows game, and they'd perfectly, you know, laid out the whole you know, the whole oval had just been cut. Oh, it was so
That was
nice.
a
I don't know
WA one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a WA one. Yep. It was just it was such a I don't know how to explain. I don't think I'll ever play on a better oval or better grounds than that. It was so good.
For sure. Would you obviously the other game was the Alberton Oval against the Vic side, which obviously fell short in, but it must be pretty cool. And if you mentioned about the ground, playing on the Adelaide Oval as well, like, you know, you normally, for anyone, you know, you're in the stands watching the AFL team or a state championship side, but no, you actually got to play on it as well. And then you walk down that tunnel. I feel like that's kind of a cool feeling on any ground, but in particular a ground like that, even if the numbers aren't what you think it would be, it's just that feeling, no matter if there's 50,000 people there or 5,000, you know, that walk to go, shit, this is not our regular state league ground. This is the Adelaide Oval or the MCG, depending on who you're talking to. You know, it must be a pretty damn good feeling to walk out. And how was that going through that tunnel or that area going up?
Yeah. So I like when you are up in the grounds and you're looking down, the oval looks huge, and you almost think like, man, how am I going to play on that? It's so big. But when you get on ground level, it's literally it's just a normal oval. Look, it still looks big, but it's, you know, it's more like reasonable that you're going to run around. So yeah, so I think at the start of the game, we actually weren't allowed on the oval because they were doing all the like maintenance work. But we all got some like great pics, like I mean, to be honest, it's just the seating in the background, but it's just I don't know how to explain. Like you just like on the oval and you're looking around and you just it's hard to put into words what it's like, but you just take, like, you know, you're just breathing it in, and you're just you know, look, it was pretty empty, and it was pretty funny because you can just hear the echo from the stands, but it's just like as people started to come in, because obviously they open the gates and then all the early people come, and you just hear like so much noise, and yeah, I don't know how to explain. It's such a nice feeling, and the oval was lovely, and it was a beautiful day, great day.
Very good. Now you're probably underselling your performance there. You got named. I was just having a look before. You were actually named in the top 6 for that team, or the state team, that game. How did you feel that experience was in terms of actually playing on it, and how you feel that you went? Obviously, you mentioned Leah was obviously one of the other rucks who's had the AFLW experience in the past at the Saints, and I think Essendon was another team. So how was it like that? And then going up against WA rucks as well.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Look, I think because we've played WA before, and I'm pretty sure there might have been one of the rucks we played, like she played last year as well. And I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm confident in my skills. Like, to be honest, I'm pretty nerdy, so I looked up all their stats beforehand, and I was like,
don't worry,
how
I
are
would
they
too.
going? Yeah. I was like, you know, what are they doing? And we watched Vision and stuff, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I can take them on. And I think when you just believe, you know, when you believe in that, and you, I guess just have that experience from last time, you know, you go, yeah, I've got this. And I think that just carried over into the game. It was hard because Leah and I just did like a chop and change. So it was a 20-minute quarter. So I only had 10 minutes to really, I guess, showcase the skills. But it was, I found that I just had like some good touches. And one thing I've been really working on this season is like marking. And I think I had like 2 or 3 marks just in that like last quarter or last half or something. So I was pretty, I guess I was, firstly I was excited because I actually marked the ball, and then just had some really good like, I guess like plays, passages of play and things like that. So yeah, I think just being confident in, in your skills and watching all their stats and then watching their vision, like it really helps for sure.
Sure. Now, obviously, being in the stateside, no matter what age, whether you're 18 or 19 or even younger, or you're 21 or 31, 35 even, obviously they don't just pick anyone to play these state games, right? So does it give you that hope and you still have that desire to try your best forward to try and get on an AFLW list to show that recruiters are at these games too? If they're not there, they're definitely watching in some capacity. And, you don't just get selected for the sake of being selected. You earned it. Everyone that got in there earned it. Is that the aspiration still to try and get to AFLW? And if so, would you be happy to go anywhere if that was the case? Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, good question about
Thank
AFLW.
you.
Look, I was very lucky enough to be a train-on with the Crows 2 years in a row. And like you really learn just from, I think, to be honest, I think I was only attending like 1 training session a week. And I could only attend the sessions because they were after work. So that's how I was able to go. And like you really pick up just how hard they work. So it's tough. It's a really tough question because obviously I work full time as a physio, and so it's tough to even imagine sort of like being picked up by an AFLW team. I wouldn't say I have aspirations for it, but I'm just sort of like going with the flow. Like and I haven't really been, I mean, obviously I've trained with the Crows, but I haven't been, spoken about getting drafted or anything. So I'm just like, I'm not really looking for it, but I'm just enjoying football. Just try it. Like, to be honest, there's so much to learn all the time. And so like, I'm just enjoying learning and like practicing different things. Like, of course, from the Crows, they've told me lots of things to work on is sort of like fitness, markability. And I think fitness, like, really worked on it in the off season, and then marking, I'm just at training every single week, just working on trying to clunk some balls. And actually it's worked this season. I've managed to get a couple. So yeah, it's I think, training with the Crows, I've learned a lot about, I guess, like just the high professional sport. And yeah, so I wouldn't say exactly I'm looking to get picked up, but I'm just enjoying learning at the moment.
That's fair. Now, this is going to be a big question off the back of what you just said. If the phone call had arrived or came to say, we want to offer you this spot, would you take it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
good answer.
probably. I think it's just like, it's just one of those things in life where you're like, if you get an opportunity, like, you got to try it. And
of course.
If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if, you've got to try it at least once,
That's fine. And then that experience of training with the Crows, obviously, Jess Allen's one of their good rucks at the Crows. Obviously, some great talent and leaders and experience at the club. Ebony Marinoff, Caitlin Gould, Chelsea Bedell, Chelsea Randall, and Hatcher. There's so many star players at the Crows. In that time you've been there, whether it's short time or not, did you get to gel with a few of the girls there? And did some people kind of take you under their wing, in particular Jess Allen being another ruck? How has that time been, and how was it? And anyone take you under their wing there? in that time?
Oh, yeah. So, Anne Hatchard and I, we used to play basketball back in the day. So,
Hmm.
it's always, strange when you're going into like as a trainer and you don't want to get in people's way and things like that. But you just
Yeah.
kind of felt at home there. And that's because
Hmm.
like I played with Taylor Levy, who was on the list there. I
Yep.
know Anne Hatchard pretty well. I actually played with Caitlin Gould and Ebony Marinoff and Eloise Jones. I played with them at and Denny. I played with them at Glenelg, like back in
Oh,
2020.
okay.
So I've
Okay.
you kind of know them,
Yeah.
and then yes, definitely Jess Allen. Like what happens is you go off with the rucks and you do a bit of ruck stuff, and yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely learned heaps from them, and I reckon definitely part of the ruck game, like some of just the moves that they've taught me, like I've started using them and it really works well. I think probably like even like the support staff as well have just been like CJ Kramer. She's just always given me just like really constructive feedback, and so it's always like you always pick that up and you go, yeah, like you
Mm.
take that away with you. So I would probably say yes, definitely. Like I wouldn't say I went in under anyone's wing, but yeah, you
Yeah.
feel really confident there. You don't feel out of place, if that makes sense, because
Yeah.
everyone's really friendly, and the nice thing is you have those little connections beforehand, and then you come and everything sort of
Mm.
feels okay. And obviously there's actually quite a few South players there as well. Like I said,
Yeah.
Tia Charlton, her sister's
Yep.
Emma, so you get that's
Hmm.
it, basically you feel connected there. You don't feel out of
Yeah.
place. So yeah. Yeah, but Jess
For
Allen,
sure.
definitely, she helped me so much, and I'm very grateful for just her because
Mm.
she would beat me up at training, and I was like, okay, that's how you do it. Okay.
Thanks. Thanks for that. Thanks for that lesson, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, it's time for the teammate questions. I love asking these, Mooney. And I just saying here before, some of them will be different, some may be similar, some answers may change, they may not change, but we'll wait and see. Now, this one I don't think I would have asked you last time, but if you could poach any player from another SANFLW club, no matter how unrealistic you feel it may be, to come to South Adelaide from next season onwards, who would it be?
Oh, that's such a tough question. So from playing in the state squad, like you just
Mm.
have so many new friends, and like I love playing with everyone, and like there's not a team that I hate playing except for maybe I'll keep it to myself. But there's you just love all the teams. Look, if I could poach anyone,
Yeah.
ooh, look, it'd have to be Kiana Lee from Norwood.
Norwood.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So she is
Hmm.
a solid, to be honest, she's everywhere actually. So she's pretty solid in the like she played on the wing, she plays in the back line, she plays on the
Mm.
forward line, but she can clunk marks so well.
Mm.
So I'd love to poach Kiana Lee.
Mm. Yeah,
I
I've
know
had her on
she's
in the
gonna listen
past.
to this.
Good player.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, she probably will, considering yes, I've had her on before, so she probably will. So I am going to
Oh,
clip
she
this
knows.
part and put that on Insta, so she will get a tag. So if she does listen to it, there you go. You're welcome. You're doing recruiting as well. Not only are you representing the state, not only are you the starting ruck, and now you're doing recruiting as well.
Yes, yeah. Well, look,
Mm.
you can hit me up, and I'll let Rick know.
Yeah, there you go. See, recruiting. I've started trying to do this bit of recruiting for people now. I've been getting people to say all a pitch of why they should join XYZ. So there's your pitch, and you play in finals. So that's obviously a good one. Now, this one I definitely wouldn't have asked last time, Rooney, is if any teammates, you can include yourself here, would have formed a rock/music band, who would be in that band, and what would that band be called?
Oh, that's definitely not one I've heard.
Mm.
Um, rock band. Hey,
Or
I
any form of
reckon.
music band, yeah. Tiffany's got to be in it, doesn't she, with her song?
Yeah,
Tiffany.
Tiffy time. Yeah, Tiffany King with Tiffy time. I reckon that's it. I can't think of anything else for
No,
anyone.
no,
Nah.
no,
I
no,
think
no drummers, no nothing on the side.
Not that I know of. Actually, that's a good question. I don't really know the teammates enough to know if anyone does
Mm.
actually do. But
Mm.
I know Kiana Lee can play guitar and she can sing. So I
No.
think if she was on my team, I'd choose her.
Well, in the hypothetical world, she now is because you just recruited her. But will it
Yeah,
official? Let's see.
yeah.
There we go. Now, if this does end up happening next year, joking a little bit, but if it does actually happen, I'd like to take some credit for it, considering I brought the question up, which got you to bring it up. So there we go.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, well, we'll see. Now, what was it? Oh, yeah. If a teammate or teammates would appear, or yourself, on a reality TV show, who would be on that show and what show would it be? Any form of TV show.
I reckon I would choose Emily Brockhurst
Oh, yeah.
for Love Island.
Oh,
I reckon she would love that. I reckon should be pretty good on there.
nice. Love the drama of that show, or those type of shows.
To be honest, I haven't even watched it, but I feel like they do a lot of hanging around the pool, and I think she'd love that.
No, there you go. There you go. Rooney's making pictures now. Now, the next one. All right. Who loves this could change. This may be the same. Who loves the limelight, the attention, the camera at South Adelaide, and they can't get enough of it, and they know what to do when cameras are around?
Yeah, I think probably the reason why I chose Emily Brockhurst is because she loves the camera,
Mm-hmm.
and she knows how to pose. Like she's great. So I'm gonna
No,
choose Emily again, same as last year.
very nice. Now, you've just made a pitch to Kiana Lee to join South Adelaide. So now, since you brought Emily up, I'm going to make my own pitch to have her on the podcast. If you love the camera, Emily, the attention, everything, then she should get on, shouldn't she?
Yes, she should. I don't know if we'll get her on, but yes,
Not
I'll
now.
pitch it to her.
There we go with it. Well, there's my pitch. You made a pitch. I made a pitch. Everyone's making a pitch. Right. And now, if you were stuck on a deserted island with teammates, who would you be bringing and not bringing, and why?
Yeah, look, I'd probably bring Lucy Northcott. I think I said the
Mm-hmm.
same thing last time. It hasn't changed because
Mm.
she is a nurse and she's
Yep.
also in the defense, what's it called, reserves, defense reserves or whatever it is,
Yep.
army reserves. So she is very resourceful. She also lives on a farm or like lives on some
Okay.
properties. She's got an idea. Like she's smart, and I think
Mm.
recently she went camping with one of the some of the teammates, and she
Yep.
she can hike. I think she'll know what she's doing. All right. So I'd
Mm.
pick her. I probably would not pick Emily Brockhurst only because I don't think she would know what she's doing. So
Fair enough.
definitely
I
Lucy
mean,
North.
that's fair. I mean, just because you're on the list doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Like, you want to get off the island, right? You don't want to be stranded there. You got to get off. You don't want to be there forever, because then it'll be boring as hell. So you
Yeah.
need to get off. Need to get off. Now, this could change because we're in a different year. So this probably will change. Who's some teammates that fly under the radar that don't get talked about as much as you feel they should?
Yeah, look, I think Layla Vizgardis is one of them. She's in our
Yeah.
midfield. She had a game this year where she hit she kicked 3 goals.
Nice.
And I can't remember how many disposals, but she was in the midfield kicking 3 goals. So she
Impressive.
is one that I don't think gets talked about enough. I think
Yeah.
she's a very hard worker. And it's
Mm-hmm.
probably because probably people just look at sort of the the stats and things like that, but they don't really look at what she does on the ground, which is a lot of like blocking or just those like
Mm.
sneaky quick handballs and things. So I think she's probably one that
Yeah,
doesn't get spoken about enough.
for sure. Now, if you were to say your toughest opponent, you mentioned Lee Cunning before. So who would feature as your toughest opponent if you had to match up on yourself individually?
uh Taya Maxwell from our team. But then but then probably, yeah, we've got Leah Cutting who she's a very similar ruck to me and we both body up. But
Yep.
then probably the one I really struggle with is Jazz Fijo from Sturt.
Oh,
We
yeah.
both play basketball against each other, and she's very athletic. She can. I reckon there was even one time where she like ran and jump, and like her knee landed on my neck,
Oof.
and I was like,
Yeah.
so she's probably one that like, and you know what's great is that they're both in this finals series. So
Yes.
she's definitely one that I'd probably say, like, you know, she not only is she like athletic in jumping, like she on the ground,
Yeah.
she moves, like she can run. So
Mm.
they're both pretty tough. I'd say they're yeah, not excited for that, but yeah.
Well, the cards are aligning, Mooney. All cards are aligning. This could be the same matchup this weekend, hopefully.
Most likely, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Right, you survived the teammate question, so well done. I think you did fine. I don't think anything was bad at all. But anyway, right now, some of these answers could be similar, if not different. If you could have any superpowers, what would those superpowers be?
I reckon I would love to just be, I don't know, it's a tough one, isn't it? I think my superpower, like, is probably like reading people's minds and just knowing what
Right,
people are thinking. I
there we
think
go.
probably because that's my work is trying to teach people how to move. So, and when they're very resistive
Mm,
to me, I want to know what they're thinking and then change it.
yeah, very true. Read minds. That'd be a good one. Now I would have brought this up last time, but sometimes your answers can change, especially with people these days with food. Right, 1 minute they love something, then they get sick of it. So your answers could change here. Now, if you don't remember, and for people listening, I ask the same 6 food questions all the time, and if you answer them correctly to how I would answer them or something close, I'll give you a point. If you don't, I'll give it no point. Now, the most is about 13 to 15 people on 6 points. And the lowest anyone's ever got is a bunch of people on 3 out of 6. So, has your food taste buds and food fancies and food you like and dislike kind of changed over the last year?
I think I remember the questions, but I don't remember my
Yes.
answers.
Okay.
But I don't
That,
think they've changed.
okay,
We'll
great.
see.
Now,
We'll see what happens.
yeah, the questions will be the same, yes. Personally, I don't remember your answers, so I'm intrigued to see how you go here.
Yes.
But see, if you remember some of my answers, then you maybe could intentionally say the opposite, even if you don't think that, just to get the point. So see who wins here.
Yes.
Right,
I'll try my best.
try your best. Right, first one, chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
It's a palmy.
Good, good. SA people, WA people know it, and a little portion of Victorian people do, and the rest have no idea. Because
No.
seriously, anyone that says opposite has no doesn't have a good brain because, or that too, because I mean you pronounce it right, it's an I, and it's spelt with an I, or it's pronounced palmy, and it's spelt with an I. Like I don't know how you can try and twist it any other way, but whatever. Right, good job. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
I say yes, but I think you're no, aren't you?
Yes, yes, that's
No.
correct. See, I
Then
might
I
try and
say
trick
no,
you here.
actually.
You're locking in no. Okay, so you get a point. Good job. Right, so you remembered. All right, very smart. Tomato sauce covered a fridge.
Ooh, I mean, I'm fridge, but I reckon you were cupboard. So I'm gonna lock in cupboard. Fridge. I'm gonna lock in fridge.
Fridge. Well, you get a point, unless you said neither. That's probably why no one's really got under 3 before, because they get at least one correct. So, yeah, either or, I don't really care. If I had to actually pick, like, instead of whatever, I would pick cupboards. So, well, there you go. But 3 for 3, good start.
Yeah.
Now, let's see how you go here. Favorite food?
I can't remember, but I feel like was yours pasta or something
You got a
along those
great
lines. Or maybe
memory.
was it
Yes.
pasta? Yeah,
Yes, yes.
pasta. I'll look
Ah,
in
here we go.
pasta.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I might have to change one of these last 2 questions up on you here. They're doing pretty well. All right, okay. Yeah, food you don't like. Let's see if you get this one.
Oh, I can't remember, but I think I said like mushrooms or something because I don't like mushrooms.
Okay, well
Um,
you want to stick with that or not?
yeah, let's stick with mushrooms.
And lock
You
it in
don't
and
like
you got it
mushrooms?
right. Yes, I hate
Yes,
mushrooms. And there's a
got
bit of
it.
a
Too
mushroom.
nice.
I won't go into detail, but there's a bit of a mushroom fiasco at the moment. So no, I don't
Oh
like.
no.
Yes, yes, I don't like mushrooms. No, I never have
Yeah.
liked mushrooms. Anyway, 5 for 5. Right, the last one. I'm going to change this up. I'm not going to ask you what your favorite type of restaurant is or anything like that. I'm just going to completely randomly think of a random food that I have not brought up and see what you think.
Mhm.
First of all, do you like onion?
I eat onion. I wouldn't say, oh, I like onion, yeah.
Okay, okay, I'm going to change this. Okay, it's about onion. Now, there was at one point, I can't believe I never thought of this until just now, because I wanted to change it up on you here to see if you get one wrong or different. Now, it's heavily debated as well. People complain about these Bunnings sausage sizzles and all this crap, where the sauce and that belongs. Would the sauce and onion, would you want that on top of the hot dog and the cheese if there's
Yes,
cheese? Would you want that all on the top or the bottom?
on top of the sausage sizzle. Is that what you
Good
mean?
answer. Yes, yes, damn it. Good, that's a good answer, but I tried to get a point off you by changing it up on the fly. But you got it right. So 6 out of 6. Good job. I
Yeah.
don't know if you got 6 last time, but you damn well did this time. You can add yourself to the list of 15. No fake honours board for you again. You got past your list, so good job. Now, all right. So, what would you say is one of the most favourite apps, Mooney, on your phone?
Favorite apps?
Yeah,
Instagram.
Insta. Of course, you got to go on the Insta.
Yeah.
It's where it's at these days. I mean, that's where all the people not over the age of 40 are. So, yeah, that's the
Mhm.
way to go. Yeah, so that's right. Now, I probably would have asked you this last time too, but mark a goal of the year. Which one would you rather do and why? And on top of that, I probably did ask you this too, but would you be one to post if you were to post it, if you were to pull off one of those?
Oh yeah. So definitely look, it's tough because I reckon
Mm.
mark of the year. Um and
Yep.
oh no, actually I reckon goal of the year because you can post that and it's like, like it's pretty good. Whereas mark of the year, it's awkward if you're just like posting a mark. So I reckon
Mm.
I'd go for goal of the year and I
Mm.
would post it. Yes, definitely.
Mm. Good. Good answer. Now, I just thought of this one on the fly as well. Now, if you had to put something on the line that you wouldn't want to, and it had to be a teammate or yourself to kick one of the toughest goals in the team, who are you relying on the most? Who is that player you go, I have faith in you to nail this goal from any which angle or distance?
Ooh, yes,
Mm.
Shay Archbold.
Oh, yeah.
Probably like it's tough because I'm like, oh, distance wise, I reckon she can kick from 40 out.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be. I mean, if it was distance, I'd go for Taya Maxwell every time.
I was
But
waiting
if
for
it
that.
was, yeah, but if it was accuracy, like I'd definitely go for Shay Archbold. She's just
Mm.
got a nice left foot kick, and it's just. I think
Mm.
recently they put up that she was at what 76%
Okay.
scoring or something. So I'd
Oh,
choose
disposal
her for
efficiency.
sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
No, no,
they
no,
have
no.
good.
Her goal kicking.
Oh, accuracy. Gotcha. Pretty
Accuracy.
good.
That's right. Accuracy. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
No, that's very good. Now, if you could choose one song, now obviously you see in AFL and AFLW, if you look at the men's Brisbane side, every goal at the Gabba, there's a song that goes on. What's your song that you would play if you kicked a goal?
Oh, yeah, we had to choose one for the state team.
Oh
And
yeah.
honestly, it's so hard to know what to choose, but I feel like Sweet Caroline, whenever it comes on, especially at Adelaide Oval, like you go,
Mm,
yeah, like it pumps you out. So I'd
yeah.
probably say, like, to pump up actually, to be honest, I'd want to choose something for my nephews and nieces.
Oh yeah.
And actually, they do know Sweet Caroline, so I'd choose Sweet Caroline for sure.
No, not a bad one. Some good choices. Now, the state of women's footy is always talked about. And this can relate to AFLW. This can be just state league in general, or just the development pathways and everything like that. Obviously, it's improved a lot in the last fair bit. Where else can you see it get to? Like, obviously, more games at AFLW. Obviously, they're only playing 12 games at the moment, and obviously, you want more and to make it fair, not only just in general, but like you will lose the debate if you at least play everyone once, right? If you play everyone once, you can have that ability and to not hear people say, or clubs say, oh, but you got an easy fixture, we didn't. You would eliminate that. And then you slowly get, or even just leapfrog that step, and you go to playing everyone in the same amount of rounds as the AFL do, and then you have some double ups as well. How do you feel that is, and the growth of women's footy in general? What are your thoughts on all that?
Well, the growth of women's footy, I'll start with that.
Yep.
Like it's pretty amazing how far it's come. And like I said, like last year I was playing with most of my friends who were 30 as
Yeah.
well. But most of them have like stopped playing. So
Yeah.
our team went from like average sort of 25-year-olds to now average of like 21-year-olds, because we've got so many sort of 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds like coming in. So I'd say like the development from such a young age, it's just like it's amazing like how fast things are moving.
Yeah.
And you've just got a whole bunch of these young, super talented players just coming through. And so I'd probably say like we're seeing heaps of talent come through. Like and
Yeah.
these girls are 16 playing against like again adult women. Like
Yeah.
they're still building into that, like they're still getting used to their bodies and being like building up muscle and everything, and they're just
Yeah.
going against all these adult ladies, which is pretty impressive. Like there's one girl at our club who just lays the biggest tackles, and she's
Mm-hmm.
quite small, and I'm just like pretty solid, and then she just like
Mm-hmm.
takes me out, and I'm like, okay, so this is how it's going. Like it's just moving along hugely.
Yeah.
So I think and I think what's happened in our league, which has just been announced, is they've now opened up an under 18s league
Oh,
for the
yes, that's
women.
right.
So yeah, so there's not like a development reserves league anymore. It's now an under 18 league. So it's like a junior league, which is
Yeah.
you're just gonna see so much more of those players just developing, because they're playing against the top under 18s as well. So yes, there's huge development in women's footy. And
Yeah.
then in regards to the AFLW, look, I'm pretty bad because I don't really I don't know what the answer is, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I think playing everyone once, is pretty solid. It's
Yeah.
so hard because they go through such a vigorous, like long pre-season to then only
Yeah.
play 12 games.
Yeah.
It feels very short.
Yeah.
So I don't like, to me it sounds like like playing everyone once to start with is definitely the way to go, and then expand from there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the answer is, sorry. But
Yeah.
I think it feels like it's so much work for such a short season, for sure.
Yeah.
Like it
For
feels
sure.
like there's
Mm.
there's
The
so
preseason is
much.
too long. The preseason is longer than the
Yeah.
season when you think of it, especially for sides that don't make finals.
Yes, it does feel. Yeah, it definitely feels really long. Like because they've
Mm.
started already, but when does their
Mm.
season start again? Like, is it
August 14th, I think. Something like that. It's
14?
Carlton
Yeah,
Collingwood.
yeah. Oh, it's not. Oh, I think because they started maybe like 2 months ago, so maybe it's like a 3-month pre-season for like
Yeah.
a
But
for
they
like
kind
a.
of have their unofficial like a lot. I notice a lot of them they post about going all the time. I mean, it is their own time, but there's also sessions they kind of put in between. So is it really that short? I mean, on paper, if you listen to the official titles, it is. But they have a lot of preseason. Some of it's on their own accord. Some of it's they have to come in. So it's a bit of a it's a longer
Yeah.
one. And regardless, I feel like it should be longer. Now you mentioned there was the development league, obviously departing. How would you feel though, Mooney, if you're in a player now for the under 18 players? It's fantastic. But what about for those players that are on the edge or out of the states? The states or the league side that would normally go play reserves, right? And then now they won't have that opportunity to do so. Is it hard for players in that position? Do you know any players in that position that have had to potentially now suffer that, and kind of how
Yeah.
they would kind of feel in that spot?
Yeah, and that's a great question, because actually my sister is sort of one of those players
Thought so.
she's had 2 games this season, and it's just been tough because you've got the under 18 state league where they come out of the team, and then there's opportunities for more to come in. So it's really hard because she is one of those that, now she's kind of lost that chance to, have those games. And I guess it's really hard because like we're gonna need players to step up. Like if someone gets injured, we're gonna need those players. But if there's not that development league, they're gonna just have to go back and play, like a local game.
Yeah.
But it's so hard because they're not playing, the game plan that we're playing because they have to just do. I remember where I was at, but so I think just it's hard. It's really tough for those development players. And I think I think I don't know how it's gonna work. Like I don't know if the under 18s in our side are gonna just keep playing in, the league side, or if they have to go. I honestly have no idea what's gonna happen. But I do feel sorry for those players that they won't be able to play that development game or the reserves game. They just have to come to training I don't even know if they're going to come to train. I have no idea how it works. So it's pretty harsh, I think. Because it is hard because you'd love to have both. Like an under 18s and a reserves. But I don't think we can I think there's just not enough money to like fund that, if that makes sense. So
there probably should be something where it works for both, right? Whatever that is. As you mentioned, your sister's in that boat, and a lot of other players are in that boat as well. Like you're going to go because you're over 18, and you go, well, shit, now I'm in no team, and I'm going to play locals. You mentioned the structure's different, and who's sometimes going to go see the form of a local game, and like when you select the side, it's going to make it even harder. You're like, in your eyes, you're like, okay, now you're going from local to this league side. You're taking two steps forward to go up a league, go from the development one. It's like, well, okay, we want to pick someone, but off their form, they're playing local, and they might play well, but that's 2 leagues below to what we've had last year. So it's like, how do we think that's going to transition into a league game for that individual or group of people? It's just, it's a hard one. I feel like they should have found a way to kind of gel. Like, for example, you mentioned your sister in that spot and a lot of other players. There should be a way where they're allowed to play in this 18 side where there's a bit of a leniency for at least a handful of players. Maybe not like, say, 15 players, but maybe like 5 players who are on the cusp of being picked, and they can actually be there. Like, okay, they're on the cusp of being picked to the league side. We want to step up a bit closer and kind of can gel it. And that goes for every team. They can play them there. So then it's not an unfair advantage if some club have got none and then some are playing 5 there.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how they could have worked it. I mean, the best case scenario is they have 2 leagues. Like reserves and under 18. But whether they could have done that, I don't know. I agree. I think it's very hard to go from training at league level and then trying to figure out if you're in the team, and then if you're not in the team, then you have to go play local, and then and it's very hard because you can't really connect with your local team because you're not at training there, because you're training with league. It's just it's tough. It's a tough one. I think like always they have like those teething issues where they're trying to figure out how to balance it all out. I don't know what's going to happen though.
For sure. Now, the last one for you, Marie, so I really appreciate coming on. Now, if you could, you need to remind me, which AFL team you support or AFLW team you support?
I think I said last time, and it's still the same at the moment. I just like watching footy, full stop.
Okay,
so,
good. I thought that was the answer.
But, oh, wait, did the Saints win this weekend or they lost?
No, don't remind me.
Oh,
no.
Was it Richmond?
No, Saints played Sydney in their men's. We got gypped, I would say.
That's right. I remember. Yes.
Thanks for reminding me.
I basically just do tipping.
And
any team that I support, any team that I tip, I like support. So, but I like
Okay.
watching footy, just full stop.
Yeah.
And I just like watching like certain players. So
Yeah.
yes. No, I don't really support any team, but I do support the
Mhm.
Crows. You know, you go, yeah, the
Okay.
Crows are here, yeah.
That's fair. No, they're doing all right. So, all right, I'll rephrase it with a better last question then. Obviously, the side, South Adelaide, go into a prelim this week against Sturt. Last year, as I've been sent off the top, you had the ultimate success. The year before that, you had the heartbreak. On the weekend, you had heartbreak. This week, you go against Sturt. As you mentioned, have had a good patch the last few weeks and so, etc. How far can the team, well, it's only one more step. How confident can you be going back to back? Obviously, just the talk of going back to back is something that's, not that easy as people think it is. How do you feel you can go this week? And what's your aim to kind of get the win and hopefully have another Premiership Cup race and yourself being a part of it as well?
Oh yeah. So, good question. It is a difficult one because like we always feel confident coming into like playing Sturt. But that's just because we've had this like the season success against them. Like we've beat them twice, pretty
Yes.
pretty convincingly. But it's everything changes in finals, and it's hard to know. They've obviously beaten the top sides, or the top, West and Woodville and
Mm,
North, and you just kind of go, okay, so how have they beaten them? What are they doing differently? So I think like I feel pretty excited and confident coming into that game, but there is still in the back of my mind knowing, okay, they're bringing something different, and we've got to try and pick up what that is and really shut them down. So I feel pretty confident, but also like just a little bit like hesitant. Like you've just got to look at what they're doing. Um, and then in regards to if we do win and playing Woodville, look, I think that one is like all our finals have been very, very close, like our
mm,
grand finals. And if we played them, look, there's no doubt in my mind it's going to be another really close game.
yeah.
Um, I feel like I went so when I was at training, meant to play last weekend, I was feeling
Hmm.
so pumped about the game. Like you just went from losses, you learned so much. And I think,
Yeah.
obviously, like in the final minor round game, we played them and
Oh,
we
yeah.
lost, and we
Yep.
learned huge amounts of what to do when we play them again. So it's kind of nice that we lost again because there is a lot to learn from that. So
Yeah.
I think going into the grand final, like we're gonna come in again with some new things that we're to incorporate. And I think
Yep.
that we need to feel confident in that. And I think on the weekend we showed that we do have what it takes. We just have to
Mm,
do it for the whole game and just not lapse in that last few minutes. And I think
mm,
definitely we're all, we've had enough losses in the last 2 weeks that we
yeah.
want to win. Yeah.
Sure. A win is long overdue. Mooney, it's been a pleasure having you on. I'm just going to hope that I'm a good luck charm for your team because had 5 teammates of yours or thereabouts on grand final week or the week before grand final week and during grand final week, and you got the W. Now it's a similar time frame, so let's hope the same repeats itself this week. And if you get through this week, next week as well. Mooney, it's been a pleasure having you on. Good luck this week for yourself and the team, and hopefully it's booming success and there's another successful premiership after next week. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thanks for having me again.
No worries.